Darkcast Network. Welcome to the dark side of podcasts.
Warning. The following podcast may occasionally contain strong language and material that is not suitable for all ages. If you are easily offended, it is highly advised that you turn back now. However, if you're a degenerate, welcome, brethren. You've found your home.
Welcome to the Crime Diner. We are a Jersey podcast, and on the menu is a variety of true crime, cults, mysteries, historical hilarities, and sometimes victim stories. We do this within a dinner with friends theme. I'm Nydia.
I'm Dana.
I'm Cindy.
So last week we took the week off and dropped a Patreon episode.
Yeah. These weeks off feel like a snow day.
Oh, yeah, you like
remember
that?
When you used to stay home from school?
It was less fun for me because I was doing a baby shower, and that was like, but it was nice to not have to edit an episode this week.
Yeah.
But the week previously, we talked about the Rikers Island plane crash.
Yeah.
And that was a story I've been wanting to tell for a while, so I was glad
that
I
was
got
a
to
cool
talk about
story.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a hero in an unusual place.
Wait, what's that? That Rihanna song just came out. Just like came to mind.
Very
it
close.
reminded
Very
me.
close.
It reminded me kind of Yellow Jackets.
What is that?
It's like a show about a plane crash.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but I do know what you mean.
But in this one, they ate each other and shit. Like, yeah, so,
less heroic.
Very much not like that.
Yeah, less heroic.
Yeah, more of about.
That's a spoiler alert. Also,
Is it?
Is it? How?
Yes, because that doesn't happen. That doesn't get disclosed until season 2.
Oh shit!
Nuh-uh.
Yeah,
Really?
because I watched all of season 1, and I have not watched season 2.
It was very disappointing. So I did you a favor.
You're such a
You're an asshole.
So today I'm telling you a story. I am going back to my true crime roots.
Okay.
And I'm telling you a story that Cindy brought to my attention.
I gotta give credit to Danny because Danny gave it to me to give to y'all.
Oh shit!
So this is like crabs.
Once again, Danny came to the rescue.
Yeah. So anyway, this serial killer.
Oh, a serial killer.
Yes, this is a serial killer that I had no idea existed.
Okay.
So when Cindy told me about it, I looked it up and I was like, there's no way. I would have heard about it. But yes, this person existed. And he's a rare type of serial killer.
Okay.
He is a serial killer that is also a mass murderer.
Interesting.
And that never happens.
Okay.
It's very rare.
And what is the difference between a serial killer
A mass
and a
murderer will go into a place and shoot everyone dead.
Okay.
A serial killer is more, yes.
So this person
more
did
targeted.
both of these things.
Yeah.
Well, serial killers have a cooling off period between
Gotcha.
their murders, so
Right.
that's one of the.
Interesting. So this person was a serial killer as well as
A mass murderer.
different situations.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And let's just say that
Oh, no.
his handiwork is still out there in the internet for all to read.
Shit, really?
Yes.
Okay.
And you've probably bought some products which he has reviewed.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Okay. So no more. I'm not going to
Okay.
say any more.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you this story, serve it to you nice and warm on a platter.
Yes,
But
please.
first, the food. Let us pray. Bless us, O patrons, for these thy gifts which we are about to receive from thy donations through Patreon every month under the power of the V podcast.
Cult.
What is this?
That looks like Salisbury steak.
It does look like Salisbury steak.
It's basically Salisbury steak, but the food blogger I stole the recipe from said it's hamburger steaks with bourbon gravy.
Oh my god. You can smell the bourbon a little bit. Like so I don't know if it's the green beans. Those are my favorite fucking green beans, by the way, with the bacon bits. Oh my god.
And a nice mash, a little floofy.
And a potato mash.
Floofy mashed potato.
It's potato.
A potato, yes.
And that word has been getting around with the full B word all over the place.
Yes, it's a potato.
So I know y'all are listening.
Yes.
She's a potato.
So let's eat these potatoes. You already have the hiccups.
Sorry about that.
And for drinks, we have Sea Isle.
Spiked iced tea.
I love that for us.
Yeah.
It's peach flavored with vodka.
And you know what? I don't always love these things. This is fantastic.
It was fantastic.
It's so good.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
so
locally brewed.
good. Yes, Sea Isle's right around the way.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Didn't we just have Cape May stuff too recently?
Yes,
That's a whole Jersey pot.
This is a Jersey podcast.
Wow. Wow.
All right.
That was fun.
And for dessert,
Yeah, what's for dessert? What is this?
what do you guys think it is?
It looks like there's...
It looks like
It looks like a banana pudding, but there's... What is it? Peanut butter crackers around
It's
it?
nutter bars. Nutter
butters?
butters.
Nutter butters. That's what it is.
but banana flavored pudding.
With banana pudding.
Banana pudding, like
It's-
it looks like a variation on like a banana, like your
That's what
classic
I
banana
thought,
pudding.
but not with... You don't see the Nilla wafers. It's the
Nutter butters.
Nutter
Nutter
butters.
butters. Yes.
Oh my God, I love that.
And all the recipes, including the buttermilk mashed potatoes, to the string beans, to the bourbon gravy, Salisbury steak, all of that is from the same food blogger and food recipe person. And I'll tell you her site.
I feel like
is called-
Elvis Presley eating bananas and peanut butter.
Just need to take a little of that bacon off the green beans and throw it in.
Yeah, right?
So the food blogger's website is Spicy Southern Kitchen, and
Ooh.
she's a South Carolina-based food blogger.
Is that why we have this food?
Yes.
The story takes place in South Carolina.
Yes.
Yes. Make sure you take your lactate pill.
Okay, we'll do.
All right, let's
Let's
dig
go.
in.
So we love Salisbury steak on this podcast.
Yes.
I would say that's probably one of the things that we've had the most on this show.
Yeah, some
Salisbury
kind of
steak, some sort of ground meat gravy sitch with a potato.
with a potato, and we've definitely had these green beans more than one occasion.
Yeah, but they're killer. You can't beat them.
Yes.
Yeah, they're a little spicy, a little kick.
A little bit of red pepper flakes.
A little
Yes.
bit.
Love it.
I said, ooh.
Now, let me just tell you that I breathed this food in.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. You were a little rude about it, actually.
Listen.
She said, "Hurry up, get your dessert because I'm almost done." I'm like, "Okay, okay."
Had 2 bites left, and she still hadn't gotten her dessert. She was
I like
really
to savor
taking her
my
time.
food, you know,
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't notice the kick because I was just too
because
busy.
it bypassed your tongue and went right down your throat.
It literally leaped over my tongue, down my throat,
Yeah.
in like giant
Yeah.
pieces.
Well, you missed out because it was delicious.
So good. Now the banana pudding had me questioning, but dude, my taste buds were on point.
Inside the Nutter Butters, were there chocolate in there?
No, it's peanut butter.
it's just
I know
peanut
it's
butter.
peanut butter, but something tasted like chocolatey. I was like, "Oh, this is so good!" Like I like smushed up my cookie and put it in there. Oh, so good.
No, it was just
Delicious.
Nutter Butters, bananas. I did, when I made the instant pudding, I added fresh vanilla bean to it. So maybe, I don't know.
Damn, she took extra care.
Dessert was fantastic. Mm-hmm. What'd you think of the Salisbury steak, the grave?
I mean, the gravy. You can tell that it was doctored with something beautiful. It was elevated.
Yeah,
It wasn't like your, man. What is that?
manwich.
No.
The big meals.
Yeah, the big. You know what I'm talking about?
I know, the big man.
Like TV dinners, but like
Oh yeah.
they were like.
They're yelling at
Man
us
side,
right
yeah.
now as they're listening to this.
I forget what the hell they're called, but those things. It wasn't that.
Yes, yeah.
All right. It was like fucking elevated.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yes.
Oh, you can't go wrong with Salisbury
No.
steak. And Danny, her wife, lectured me on what a good sear on the outside of the Salisbury steak and what she looks for.
Oh yeah, she went on
hamburger.
with that.
She told me all about it,
Yeah,
so I was happy to know about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I put
Quite
her
pleased with herself about it.
Well,
Very
you know
proud.
what? I put her in front of that cast iron today and said, "Go to it," because I'm just gonna walk you through whatever you need to do.
Get the
recipe.
telephone because this bitch is phoning it in.
Well, I was in the middle of prepping the potatoes, finishing up the desserts, doing the string beans
Wow.
while Danny took care of the
Her
steak.
wife grilled
Well,
on the steak. Yeah,
listen,
it was so good. Mm-hmm. Are you feeling a little bit of like a little?
I have a snooze coming on, and I have a food baby growing in my gut.
Food coma coming on.
And speaking of food babies,
I hate you.
I don't know if I mentioned on the podcast that I got in the mail. I received a Colo Guard.
Yes. It might have been on
kinda, like,
Patreon. I'm not sure.
It kind of like threw me off because I was like, who receives a stool sample kit in the mail without first getting a heads up from their doctor, right? And it was like a whole kit. And I was like, why do you want my poop? My doctor hasn't ordered anything.
Yeah.
And I really believed in the test, but it felt weird. It felt like I was being scammed.
Also, this could absolutely be a serial killer just trying to like
Scam
like
me of my poop.
Yeah, a weird poop collector. That's
Right.
like, oh, I got that teacher in New
Right,
Jersey.
yeah.
She sent her poop in. Check.
Like,
Now I got to get
certainly-
that massage therapist. Let's see if she sends her poop in.
So it was just like, why is somebody wanting my poop? Why
Right.
hasn't my doctor mentioned this
Yeah.
before? So
But instead of calling your doctor,
right, I just let it sit in my bathroom for the longest time in the freaking box, priority mail box,
Yeah.
right? So so it was just really weird. I felt really uneasy about it. So I had to go to the doctor for another reason, and I mentioned to her that I received this strange package in the mail from Colo Guard.
Yeah.
And that it said that you requested me to get this colonoscopy, test. And I've had a colonoscopy before and everything was peachy keen. So why all of a sudden, and also you didn't call me for that. And I was like, I felt like it was a scam. So she started laughing in a professional way, but laughing and like, why would somebody want to scam you of your poop?
you never know.
You're nuts.
Did you say I have a true crime podcast?
No,
There
I
are
did
lots
not
of
mention
reasons
that.
why people would want to scam your poo.
I just didn't understand. Also, like, okay, when you do like a stool sample for your dog, right? They give you like a small test tube, right?
Yeah.
These fuckers,
With like a little spoon on it.
yes, like with a little sample, right?
Yeah.
These fuckers wanted the whole thing.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy to me.
They wanted you to like drape your toilet with a paper, right? And then like you have to put this like trap, like to like,
It's like a plastic hat.
yeah, it's like a little top hat that you like a forbidden top hat. Literally go shit in your hat. And so it's like it like tents over the toilet so that you have to fish anything out.
That's good,
You know,
yeah.
you don't have to fish anything out of the toilet. So you have to sit on it and you have to poop. So I've always thought myself a dainty pooper. I'm a dainty pooper.
Little rabbit turds.
Yeah, like I was not expecting anything girthy. Certainly. So, I did the deed and I had to collect it in this thing. And then, like, you have to pour this preservative water over it. And then you have to, like, seal it. Like, that shit better be sealed good as hell.
Literally.
Like,
Oh, the poor mailman,
like
Frank.
fucking,
Frank.
wait a minute. No, you have to bring it to UPS. So it gets hermetically sealed in there. All right. But it's sloshing in water.
Oh, God.
So it's knocking on the edge. Like it sounds like a forbidden rattle. So I put it in the freaking container.
You're just like walking around your house with the poo.
It's sealed, right? But I'm like, oh my God, is anything escaping from here? So the next day I had to take it to UPS and I had to stand in the
Was it sitting on your
longest
counter?
fucking line.
Was it in the refrigerator? Where
No,
was it?
it was just sitting in my car
Okay.
in the June heat of
I'm going to throw up.
So So I took it to the UPS, and it wasn't. I've never seen the UPS busier. Never.
Wait, did you put it in a box?
Yes, it comes in like a box.
Okay.
That's like really well sealed. And yeah, so then I had to stand in the line with this box that says Colo Guard.
Your slosh and poo box.
And I have a forbidden present. It's
like
there.
A fish in a fishbowl that you win at the fairs.
Yes, exactly.
Like carrying it around in your little bag.
Except for this is a brown trout instead of a goldfish. So, yeah, it seemed excessive, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I gave enough samples for like the whole tri-state area.
You're like, this is good for my whole house, I think.
But it made me think like, on the other end of this received package, there's somebody opening this and they're getting hit with
whatever it is that they're making financially.
Yeah.
Ain't enough. No, that log.
No. Also, like,
no.
Yeah, that was bad. Also, this conversation is totally inappropriate for after dinner.
After dinner combo?
Yeah.
Oh, that was upsetting.
But that was my Colo Guard nightmare. But let me tell you, the next day, like after shipping it, it fucking got there super fast. Yeah, because they were like, hey, we received your freaking giant turd. Like, what's in your diet?
You won a prize.
We should have included a poop knife with this. Clearly, you've given too much.
You should have pinched that loaf a little shorter.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well, first of all, they put instructions in the thing. Don't worry if it pokes beyond the water.
No.
No. Yes.
So people have sent out bigger ones than you.
Yes.
Baby arms.
This podcast clearly doesn't care anymore. Yeah.
That's upsetting.
Yeah.
Well, any word on?
Well, no, I'm crystal clear. I'm
good to go?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
All systems go.
Yes, I'm good to go.
Okay.
But you know, while that turd lived in my car for a night, it made me also think about living in your car.
Okay.
And there's a whole culture of people that are like living in their car comfortably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I follow this guy who like turned his car into a living situation. Yeah. And he has like a kitchen, like it's like a whole setup in his car.
Yes.
In his car, dude.
I am fascinated by this behavior. I think that if I wouldn't have had a kid at 19 and like had to become a grown up, I would 100% have been one of those people. Because like, yes, because like I think that's so good and cool and so fun. And you can like go see the world and sleep in you can like blow up this thing and like put it in your back seat and it just like makes a mattress, or you could buy a truck with a bed and then put a mattress back there and then you just live there and sleep under the stars. I just love that.
Until it gets cold.
And then you go drive somewhere warm. You
I
just bopping down somewhere warm. So nice. Watch the fireflies. Drink sweet tea out of your mason jar.
Yeah, but your kid's grown now. So
I know. I have nothing stopping me.
Nothing.
No, I stupidly bought a house. What an idiot. I should have just lived in my car. I'm saddled to this fucking house. What a stupid idea. I don't know. I think about it all the time. I think about it constantly. I really have thought about like, if my kid wants to like pay rent and a couple of friends live in the house and I like go live in an RV somewhere and just like bop around the United States. Money is what's stopping me, honestly.
Yeah, honestly.
But aside from that, yeah. I would love to.
If you could figure out how to make money online.
I'm giving myself, sorry, people that I work with who listen to this podcast, my license renewal is in a year, not November, but the following November. But I want to give myself like, I want to start figuring out an exit plan. I will continue to renew my license, obviously, because I always would like to go back to massage if I need to. But yeah, I want to start like figuring out a true and real exit plan so that I can like live my life, right? Like do the things that I want to do. Like, and so anyway, yeah, I would love to like have some way to just like drive around the United States and like
you could I'm just putting this out there.
Let's hear it.
I
could sell my poo.
I don't know that they want it.
We had a whole thing about it.
You have to be really athletic and healthy. You're neither one of those.
Yeah. As I drink my spiked tea. Yeah.
Your poop is probably ratchet.
Yeah, that's true. Bummer.
You could get an online job.
Yeah.
And work on your computer and stay at my mom's house in Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah?
And take care of the property.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Why, is that an option?
And drive her around like
is your mom there?
Yeah, my mom's there right now. My mom's there right now. But we have a guest house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
And it has its own bathroom.
I'll add it to the list. Will your mom cook me good Puerto Rican food?
No.
Oh.
And my mom does not cook.
She may be able to cook, but she won't cook.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. She'll be looking to you like, what you cooking, bitch?
She'll be like, here's some corn dogs, I guess. I got nothing good for you.
Yeah.
All right, I'll write that down on my list of things that I would be interested in doing.
Yeah.
And that rapidly went to the top of the list, honestly. I love your mom.
Yeah. She's an interesting character.
Yeah, I love your mom. I think she's so great.
She's an interesting character.
I'll take her to the casino. We go.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we'll be
you
best
had her
friends.
at casino.
Yeah. We do a little slot machine together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd really have to take you to Puerto Rico.
Yes. We've been friends for over a decade, just so you know.
Yeah, you definitely have to go to Puerto Rico.
Yeah. I mean, I did, but it was just very touristy and not in a way
you need like the real experience. You know,
my week's been interesting.
Yeah.
I'm working with some awesome people this year.
Yeah, you started your summer thing?
I've started my summer thing, and one of my people has a small little tick, and they came over to me to drop off some paperwork. They were a little bit stressed.
Yeah.
And their tick showed up, and it said, "Fuck off, you're gay." And I just started cracking up, and I just handed her the paperwork. Yes, I am. Here you go.
Is this a Tourette's case?
Yes.
I had a Tourette's student.
A literal tick.
Yeah. I had a Tourette's student years ago.
Was it
little kid? His tick was sneezing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his tick was sneezing.
That's annoying.
Yes, and it was like every 5 seconds.
Oh,
not even
guy.
Like it was just like back to back to
back.
Oh,
poor kid.
Oh, it was the worst. He would start crying.
So it was kind of like echolalia, where it also did he also echo and just keep repeating?
No, it was just a sneezing tick.
Oh,
it was. I mean, he had other little physical ticks, but he was a little guy. He was like only like 9 years old or something.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, it was really bad.
The cursing thing is way better. Mm-hmm. Way better.
Depends.
I mean, it sucks, right? But like,
depends on where they want to work at.
Sneezing sucks. Mm-hmm. Like sneezing sucks regularly.
Yeah.
So to like be constantly sneezing, oh, that's a bummer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I had one young lady that used to come into one of my stores when I was working at Wawa, and she would kind of like bark like a dog, but it sounded like a cough. Mm-hmm. And she would have that moment.
Yeah.
And every now and then I could tell. I was just like, oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Wow.
I also have a bummer.
Uh-oh.
The story that I'm about to tell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Okay. All right, let's hear it.
But I think it'll be shocking to you.
I mean, yeah, it sounds just the tidbit you've already
I don't know if that you've heard of it.
I don't think...
I was just like, what the fuck? Like, where... Have I been living under a rock that I haven't heard of this guy? No.
Okay.
I mean, recent in terms of, like...
Okay.
Less than 10 years? Wait.
Really?
Has it been? Almost 10 years. Almost 10 years.
Okay.
In August of 1980, Carol Bundy confessed her connection to the Sunset Strip Slayer, who had been terrorizing Los Angelinos all summer.
In September of 2012, the cult of the Unification Church, also known as the Moonies, mourned the death of their leader, Sun Myung Moon.
Tune into Murder Murder News every Friday to hear us detangle another twisted tale from true crime history.
If you're an amateur sleuth who hopes to someday solve a cold case or locate a missing person, tune into Murder Murder News and start off your search with a deep dive into some fascinating and very solvable cases.
We always take a victim-first stance and like to focus on crimes affecting marginalized communities, which typically don't get enough media attention.
Subscribe to Murder Murder News wherever you get your podcast to make sure you never miss an episode.
Murder, murder news. My name is Keely, and I host a true crime and paranormal podcast called Misty Mysteries. Misty Mysteries takes a special focus on unsolved cases and missing persons cases. All of my true crime episodes are made in hopes to raise awareness and bring justice to those who need it most. Most of these episodes are made in partnership or made with the families of the victims and missing people. But the podcast isn't always true crime. Sometimes I bring spooky content like hauntings, aliens, and cryptids, such as the original story of the Conjuring House, the life of Ed and Lorraine Warren, and Mothman. True crime and paranormal even cross at times to make two-part episodes, like the Bobby Mackey Music World, the Lizzie Borden House, and the Villisca Axe Murder House. Misty Mysteries is ready to be binge listened to with over 50 episodes anywhere you get your podcasts. I cannot wait to keep you company whenever and wherever you like to listen to your podcast.
Today I got my story from allthat'sinteresting.com, CBSnews.com, NewYorkPost.com, Wikipedia, and a podcast called Where the Bodies Are Buried.
Okay, coming with sources.
Yeah. The initial story, like this was like, they've done documentaries about it. This is why I don't understand why I didn't know this, okay? They've done documentaries about it. They've done, To Make a Murderer. You remember that whole docu-series? They've done one on him. And so let me just get started, right?
Okay.
Born on March 7th, 1971 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Todd Christopher Samsel entered the world.
Okay.
However, his early years were marked by his parents' divorce when he was merely 2 years old. Following the divorce, his mother, Regina, married Carl Kohlhepp, officially becoming his stepfather in 1976. So this is where he gets his last name officially. While he was living in South Carolina and Georgia, with this has Southern written all over it. Okay. He was living in South Carolina and Georgia with his mom and stepdad. Kohlhepp started showing some really troubling traits. He had a reputation as a bully and would often ruin the school projects of his classmates, push them around, just, really aggressive with kids. Things got so bad that he was kicked out of the Boy Scouts for his misbehavior.
Shit.
Yeah. The Boy Scouts.
Uh-oh.
It didn't stop there. He did some truly disturbing things, such as killing a goldfish with bleach and shooting a BB gun at a dog in the neighborhood.
That's not good.
These actions really highlighted just how concerning his behavior was during that time period.
Okay.
In the podcast that I was just telling you about, they interviewed him from jail.
Really?
And yes, and he said that was all very much misconstrued.
Okay.
That he didn't mean to kill his goldfish. He says, yes, I did kill the goldfish with bleach. But he said he wasn't allowed to go outside until he cleaned his goldfish bowl. It was a bowl, a 1-gallon bowl with one single fish in it, and it had algae in it. And his mom said you can't go outside to play until that bowl's cleaned out, right?
Right.
So being a 12-year-old precocious boy, he was like, well, swimming pools, they add chlorine to them to keep the algae out. I'm going to add a little bit of bleach in here.
Okay.
And it'll clean out the bowl, right? It'll kill the not the goldfish, but the
algae, yeah.
The algae.
Yeah.
Now, chlorine doesn't hurt us.
Right.
So
sure, follow the line of thinking.
Right.
Absolutely.
So he says that it was absolutely innocent and that he never intended on hurting the goldfish or any animals. He also
BB
said
gun with the dog
the BB gun was his neighbor, the neighbor boy that did it, and he got blamed for it.
Okay.
And he said he was so pissed that he got punished for it that he went over and beat the shit out of the neighbor boy.
Okay. Also, not great, but
yes,
understood.
But he, he has an answer for that.
Do you feel like those are true statements, or
I don't know, man. He's so matter of fact when he talks.
Yeah.
That you're like, well, why would he lie? You know what I mean? He admits when he's being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he has admitted to some horrific things.
Yeah.
So why would he be lying about that?
Yeah.
Also, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
People don't like when you kill dogs. we're animals, you know what I mean?
Right. But he's very proud of being a serial killer.
Okay. All right.
So why would he, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And he's saying that he had a dog growing up, so...
Why would he kill dogs?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. But, he was a serial killer, so...
Yeah.
Kohlhepp had a really tough time growing up. As a kid, he faced abuse and neglect in his own home,
Yeah.
Things were so bad that his own grandfather even resorted to hitting him with a cattle prod.
Oh my God.
Yeah. His struggles continued outside of his family, too. In elementary school, he was known as a bully. And it got to the point where at the young age of 9, he had to be admitted to a mental hospital.
Damn.
And I think he spent like 3 months in there. It's clear that he had a bit of anger and was always ready for a fight. It's no surprise that with such a dysfunctional family, he ended up being the product of his own environment.
Yeah.
A bully and, I think like in those days, now they would classify you as oppositional defiant disorder.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what he had, but it wasn't like classified as such,
Yeah. Yeah.
These are just kids that are just super angry,
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like he was in a very loving environment. And not that I'm blaming him,
Sure.
taking away the blame. Because even he says it. He's like, a lot of kids grow up in, homes that are neglectful. He's like, and they don't kill.
Yeah.
So he doesn't excuse it. But he wasn't wanted, you know what I mean? Like, his grandparents didn't want him, his mom didn't want him, his stepdad didn't want him, his dad didn't want him.
Yeah.
He just was, not a wanted kid.
He's just there, yeah.
He was just there. Kohlhepp had a deep dislike for his stepfather and a strong desire to live with his biological father instead.
Okay.
After spending a few years in counseling, that time in the mental hospital, his wish finally came true in 1983. His mother was going through her second divorce because so she was married to his dad, got divorced, got married to the stepdad, got divorced, and now she's going through that. It was decided that Todd would go live with his father in Tempe, Arizona.
Okay.
So
A serial killer named Todd.
yeah. So it turned out to be a rather disappointing experience for him. Because
Okay.
I guess in his mind, he had imagined his father to be a certain way.
Sure.
But the
hero-
apple does not fall far from
Yeah.
the tree. Okay.
He probably had this vision of this hero that was going to fix everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's just a human, right?
Right.
And a shitty one, probably.
Yeah. So during his time with his father in Tempe, Arizona, Todd found some enjoyment in learning how to blow things up and make bombs.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We love that.
Yeah. However, his relationship with his father took an even more negative turn when he realized that his father was primarily focused on dating instead of taking care of him, and it made him feel neglected and unimportant. His dad was chasing tail and not wanting to be a dad because neither parent wanted him. You know what I mean? So the mother was busy, he describes his mother as busy looking for a man to fix her.
Yeah.
And she ended up getting married 9 times by and the father was also, looking for somebody to...
Yeah.
So,
aren't we all?
Yeah. So anyway, feeling unhappy with his father and wanting to return to his mother and stepfather, he expressed his desire to go back home. Unfortunately, his pleas were met with excuses from his mother and stepfather, who made the efforts to keep him in Tempe. No one really wanted him around, right? So on November 25, 1986, Kohlhepp's anger reached a boiling point. So what had happened was...
So he's still a child at this point.
He's still a child at this point.
Okay.
He's 15 years old.
Okay.
So his father was away for a week for work. I don't know for what, right? And 15-year-old Todd Kohlhepp was left to his own devices. So during this time, he carried out a deeply disturbing act. He had been dating... Now, this is according to him.
Okay.
His jail stories.
Okay.
He had been dating a 14-year-old girl from the neighborhood. And she broke up with him for an older 22-year-old man. Mm-hmm. She was 14. Kohlhepp felt slighted, and so he went to confront the man. Uh-huh. And he got his ass beat by this 22-year-old. So he went home to plot his revenge. And he looked for his dad's gun and came around looking for the girl. He couldn't find the guy. So I guess the guy had left or something. So he found the girl. He told her that he wanted to talk to her, and he lured her back to his house.
Okay.
Once there, she's at his house now. He forcefully held her captive using the revolver and binded her limbs with rope and put tape over her mouth, and he sexually assaulted her.
Shit.
Mm-hmm. After the whole thing, he walked her back to her house, and he threatened that if she told anybody, he would kill her whole family.
Fuck.
Yeah. But he also says that, like, that same day, his dog got out, and she helped him find the dog, and then the police were in the area.
Maybe that was before all that?
I don't know. That's what he says.
Yeah.
But he did sexually assault her. And
she never came forward?
She did.
Good.
He was promptly arrested.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So, but he was 15.
Yeah.
So he was arrested, and he underwent a psychiatric evaluation. And they diagnosed him with having borderline personality disorder.
Okay.
And the evaluation also said that he was emotionally disturbed, but had no signs of psychosis.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
And that he had an IQ which was above average, measuring at 118, which is above average. The average is 80 to 100.
Okay.
So we're out here walking around with 80 IQs and shit in the double digits, not even in the triple digits.
Right.
Yeah. So, but he was above average. So when questioned about the motive behind his actions, Todd claimed that his anger toward his father drove him to commit the heinous act of raping the girl.
Well, that doesn't really make sense, but okay.
Yeah, but he tends to explain everything away in a very logical sense that you're like, okay, I can maybe see why you did that. Yeah. But like, still, like, not rape. You know what I mean? Like, raping the girl, that's inexcusable. Yeah. You know, there's no way to, like...
It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense, you know? But you
didn't get your way. You wanted to punish her.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
That's what it boils down to.
You wanted to punish her because you know,
lost,
she left you for another
and you got
kid.
beat up and played out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a ego check, right?
Yeah.
So during his time in jail, none of his 3 guardians made a single visit to see him. Yeah. Further highlighting the lack of support and connection during this time, right? His juvenile probation officer's recommendation was for him to be tried as an adult. Okay. The probation officer.
Fuck.
So Cole Hepp, his representation, made the decision to accept a plea deal. Okay. And the deal resulted in the dismissal of the sexual assault charge, but he would be required to register as a sex offender. Okay. So on January 19th, 1987, he received a sentence of 15 years without the possibility of parole. He's 15.
Wow.
And he just got 15 years.
Till he's 30 years old.
Yes. That's a hefty sentence.
Not that it's not warranted, but
I mean,
he held her against her. That's a lot.
Yes, but 1987, they were like...
Yeah, they didn't give a fuck about women.
No. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, they were like really fucking...
I wonder if that's because he seems so off.
Ready to be...
Yes.
Yeah,
like they're like, oh, this dude...
We gotta... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's exactly
You know what I mean?
Why. Yeah. I think he was so egregious in his, in his things that, that they were just like, we got to put this kid away.
Yeah.
So anyway, during the sentencing, the presiding judge offered stern words about his behavior, saying at less than the age of 9, this juvenile was impulsive, explosive, and preoccupied with sexual content. He has not changed. He has been unabatedly aggressive to others and destructive of property since nursery school. So
that's why.
Yeah, that's why, So, however, fucking prison did him good. Good as hell. Okay. Because while in prison, the other inmates, seeing how young he was, kind of like fathered him. Okay. And they made sure that he pursued his education. And he got fucking 2 college degrees by the time he got out. Okay? Okay. So, after being released in August 2001, Cole Hepp was then 30 years old. He
did all 15 years.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, he did every bit of that.
Wow.
Yep. He relocated to Spartanburg, South Carolina. And in an effort to rebuild his life, he obtained his first driver's license and secured a job at Seven Sons and Company, a sports apparel business.
Okay.
He got this job because he resorted to making a fictitious employment history, and he, excluded the minor detail of being a sex offender from his resume.
Fair enough.
All right. So you're thinking, this guy sounds like a freaking success story.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like,
he's been in jail
to get 2 degrees, and like, listen, I think if should be a registered sex offender, like, somebody should be keeping tabs on that. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like, lying on your resume and like, getting yourself a leg up to like try, if you genuinely need to like have a fresh start, I support it.
Yeah. Well, this dude ends up becoming a millionaire.
Perfect.
Yeah, he just success just comes easy to him.
Okay. He's a smart dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all of that set aside, right? Success story, right?
Right.
Tragically, on November 6, 2003, he added murder to his resume.
Okay.
Cole Hepp had bought himself a Suzuki motorcycle at the Superbike Motorsports store.
Okay.
And at the shop, he was unable to ride the bike back to his apartment. He just fucking couldn't figure out how to ride a bike.
Okay.
He was a kid with money. He was 30 years old. He had money. He wanted to get himself a fucking motorcycle, right?
Okay.
Had no business getting himself a motorcycle because he couldn't ride a motorcycle, especially a large motorcycle such as the one that he got sold.
Okay.
So he was there with his mother's new boyfriend or whatever, and he noticed that during the time where they were selling him the bike, they were like super nice to him. But once the money was exchanged, their attitude changed.
Okay.
And if you go to a bike shop and you can't ride a bike, they're gonna fucking clown you.
Yeah.
All right?
Uh-huh.
So that's what they did. So since he didn't know how to ride such a big bike...
That seems like a poor business plan, honestly.
I mean, honestly. He didn't know how to ride the bike, so the mother's boyfriend convinced the bike shop to deliver the bike to Cole Hepp's apartment.
Uh-huh.
After being unsuccessful at riding it there, he decided that he wanted to return the bike.
Okay.
And was immediately met with ridicule.
Yeah.
By the shop owners.
Okay.
Okay? So, a couple weeks later, fucking bike gets stolen.
Okay.
And someone told him that the bike shop had a reputation of being a chop shop.
Okay.
Okay? And that they probably stole it.
Oh, shit.
And there was some truth to that because the owner's father had been arrested for operating a chop shop of cars. So, fueled by anger, he returns to the store armed with a gun. Mm-hmm. And he sits there and waits for the customers to leave. There was a father and son there, and, he waits for the store to empty. So, he fucking goes rogue and kills Scott Ponder, the 30-year-old owner. Yeah. Shoots him dead in the back of the head.
Fuck.
Shoots his mother, Beverly Ponder, 52 years old. I think she was like in the bathroom or something. Shit. Shoots Brian Lucas, the 29-year-old manager. And Chris Sherbert, the 26-year-old mechanic.
Oh my God.
So he fucking just shoots everybody.
Everybody that's in there.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Mass shooting.
Okay.
Right? So the tragic event sends shockwaves throughout the community and leaves a lasting impact on the families, victims, and friends. And this event in and of itself is its own story.
Yeah.
Because this crime goes unsolved for 10 fucking years.
Whoa.
Nobody knows who he is. Nobody knows that he had anything. This crime goes to the point where the person that phoned in the murders, the victim, he comes into the shop and he's like, oh my God, everybody's dead. They thought he had done it.
Oh, shit.
And then when they couldn't they couldn't pin it on the guy, they blamed it on the wife of Scott, of the owner.
Oh, shit.
Right? So listen to this. This shit was crazy. And it makes you fucking question DNA. Mm-hmm. All right?
Okay.
So they question her. And they're like, it's convenient how your husband is dead. You know what I mean? She had just had a baby. And they're like, they can't pin it on anybody else. And I guess they went after her. And so she's like, I don't know what I have nothing to do with it. I don't know who would want him dead, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So she's changing the baby's diaper. They steal the baby's diaper.
Fuck.
They fucking run DNA tests on it. And it comes out that the baby is not Scott's. It's actually Brian's, the fucking manager of the store, which was Scott's best friend. So they're like, this bitch was cheating with, with the store manager on her husband.
And both of them got killed.
She probably wanted the husband killed and things went wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So she's like adamant. She's like, no. There's no way that this baby could be anybody else's but Scott's, blah, blah, blah. Years pass. Fucking family turns on her. People turn on her. They like see her as like, the harlot, whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking the DNA was switched, bro.
Oh my God.
It was switched at the lab.
They retested it.
Oh my God. It turned out that Brian's was switched with Scott's.
Whoa.
The names were just switched on it.
Oh my God.
So you're like, dude, how many times does this shit fucking happen?
Oh my God.
Right? Because she could have gone to jail.
Holy shit.
She could have totally gone to jail.
Wow.
Right? Making claims. Like, she was
and
like...
her poor family probably...
Yes. Turned against her. Thought that she was... Because the guy, Brian, the store manager, he was fucking married and had kids of his own. Could you imagine his wife?
Well, yeah, like DNA test the kids against each other. It's not them.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's upsetting.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit, that's scary. Wow. So, so years pass.
Wow.
Nobody ever looks at this guy. Never. Even though there was records.
I was going to say nobody knew that he was in there.
But like the police, when they were looking to question people that had been customers of the store, they, it was kind of like one of those things. This guy's like a millionaire. Like, why would a millionaire fucking come in and shoot everybody, right? So he didn't look like the type of suspect that they would be looking for, right? He didn't fit the description.
Wow.
And like when people, like when the customers were questioned, they were like, well, what did the guy look like? Oh, I don't know. He was like between 175 and 200 pounds. He was about 6 feet tall, 5'10" to 6 feet tall.
He's a regular looking guy.
His hair, he was a white guy with brown, shaggy hair. That's fucking everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, and he was on the list of customers to question, right? But they never called him in because, and initially what they do is the police will call through the list and they'll be like, hey, can you give this is the police department. We'd like to question you about some things. If you don't fucking call, they can't question you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they can't question you because you're not a suspect.
Right. Unless they have a reason to question you.
Right.
Yeah.
And they didn't really have anything.
Yeah.
They didn't have much. So this goes on and he, fucking becomes successful. He goes on with his fucking life. Okay. Gets a girlfriend. The girlfriend fucking has a kid.
With him?
No.
Okay.
No.
She already has a kid.
Yeah. He's trying to be a dad. He's trying to get, he even says it. He's like, I was trying out here. He's like, I didn't murder anybody. I wasn't like actively looking to kill anybody. He was like, he was saying like he wasn't like a serial killer per se. He would kill people if they pissed him off. You had to be, you had to make him mad in order for him to kill you.
Like he didn't have this like compelling twitch to want to kill someone.
Not even a little bit. Okay. No. And he was like, unless provoked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not saying that that's a good guy.
No, it's just, it's different.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he fucking evades justice for all these years. And then he starts to reveal his innermost thoughts.
To who?
To everyone in the world. Using a profile named me. Just me.
Okay.
All right. And he was the most interesting move of any serial killer out there.
Okay.
He was reviewing products on Amazon.
Oh my God, I saw this TikTok. I saw this fucking TikTok. Maybe you sent it to the group, I'm not sure. I saw this fucking TikTok. Okay.
Okay, so his Amazon wish list consisted of various items, including chainsaws and fucking knives and just anything that you could use as a weapon. He was out there reviewing it.
Oh, shit.
So some of his reviews were, works excellent. This was for the chainsaw.
Okay.
Works excellent. Getting the neighbor to stand still while you chase him with it is hard enough without having an easy-to-use chainsaw.
Oh, my God.
Uh-huh.
But he didn't really kill anybody with a chainsaw, did he?
I don't know. But he was finding humor in that.
Okay. Because that's the thing that people do with these Amazon reviews, right?
Yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
funny. Banana slicer.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Except for his could have been true. All right. So during this time that he's evading capture, he got his real estate license. And this was 2006. You can't get a real estate license if you're a sex offender.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, right.
So he didn't put that in his criminal past. Like, he didn't put any of that, right? So he becomes a broker, and he starts his own real estate company called TKA Real Estate. And it grew like fucking wildfire. He ran it from his own home in Moore, South Carolina, which he bought for $137,500. Now he's a successful businessman. So he buys 95 acres out in Woodruff, South Carolina for $305,632. And he fucking fences the whole 95 acres in.
Okay.
That's an expensive fucking fencing job.
That's an odd move, yeah.
The whole fucking thing is enclosed.
Okay.
All right? His own little compound. So by this time...
You love a compound.
I fucking love a compound, but this was not the compound. This is not it. This is not the vibe.
Okay.
All right. So by this time, he seemed to fucking have it all. He had a girlfriend. He had, the step kid that he says he really wanted to fucking make it work.
Okay.
He said he didn't like hurting little kids, he was like...
That's important.
Yeah. So anyway, he had a real estate firm with 12 employees. It was successful. And he was even learning how to fly planes.
All right.
So he's really trying to he said that being with his girlfriend made him, whenever there was a problem, he would just walk away. Like, he was really doing a concerted effort to walk away. And people who bought properties from him, he was so personable.
Yeah.
So fucking personable and friendly, and you would never know.
Yeah.
Wait till you see the pictures of him in his real estate. You would buy all the homes from him. He just looked that trustworthy.
Okay.
All right. However, he continues this whole time to leave these chilling reviews on Amazon for things such as knives, padlocks, gun accessories, targets, books about emergency surgery, and small shovels. So this is an example of the shovel review.
Okay.
Keep in car for when you have to hide the bodies and you left the full-size shovel at home. Kind of funny.
He's quirky.
Another one. Oh, he also says, does not come with a midget. Would have been nice. That's problematic. For the knife, he leaves, haven't stabbed anyone yet. He allegedly wrote about the knife, right? When I do, it will be with a quality tool like this.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And this last one was about padlocks, and it would come into very interesting play.
Okay.
Solid locks. This is his review. Have 5 on a shipping container. Won't stop them, but sure will slow them down till they're too old to care.
Oh my God.
And wait till you find out how he really did use those padlocks.
Oh, shit.
So, in another disturbing turn of events, his violence surfaces once again in August 2016. Towards the end of August, a couple named Calla Brown, 30, and her boyfriend Charles Carver, 32, were employed by Kohlhepp to clean his properties.
Okay.
All right. As real estate people sometimes do. They need that done, right? On August 31st, they were reported missing. As the investigation unfolds, the Spartan County Police made a chilling discovery. They found that the last signals emitted by Brown and Carver's cell phone were in the vicinity of Kohlhepp's residence.
Okay.
All right. And this raised final suspicions and made Kohlhepp the person of interest in their disappearance. Had this not happened, he would have never been caught. Never. He talks about it, and he says why he killed them, why he did what he did. And he says it was because he got sloppy, and by that point, he just didn't have the energy to even fucking hide his tracks.
Shit.
Yeah, he was just like, I saw them in the helicopter looking up. He's like, I knew the cell phones would ping. I knew, he was like really so disturbing. Anyway, so what had happened was he had killed another couple right before that. All right, so he had hired another couple. He was driving down the street, heading home, and he comes across this really pretty young girl panhandling.
Okay.
And he found her very attractive, and he was like, that's weird. Why is she panhandling? You know what I mean? Like, that's so degrading. So he pulls over, he tells her, hey, if you want real work, I'm looking for somebody to clean my properties, And he was like, what the hell, maybe I'll get laid, whatever. Mm-hmm. So she calls him, and they schedule a meetup, and he meets up with her, and he's like, I need my properties cleaned, you can make good money. I pay by the house or whatever. And she's like, can my boyfriend come? And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever, I don't care, but I'm not paying both of you. I'm paying by the house. So he's waiting. He's like, but I need it cleaned by the first of the month, like I need this done. They don't show.
Okay.
They don't show up. And it's like no call, no show. He's like fucking pissed because he is already behind schedule now on the cleanings, right? Mm-hmm. So turns out that they got arrested for the baby that she had just had being positive for heroin.
Okay.
So she got arrested, and her boyfriend also got arrested for driving under the influence and whatever. Mm-hmm. So they got arrested at the same time, so neither one showed up for work.
Okay.
So when she gets out of jail, she calls him up. Mm-hmm. And she's like, hey, I'd like to come back to work, blah, blah, blah. But he's pissed at this point. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So anyway, he's like, fine, yes, whatever. You've already cost me a freaking week of work or whatever. So they show up to the property, on his property. She gets up on his digger or something, and she says now. And the boyfriend comes at him to like try to rob him or something. You know what I mean? They know he's got money. He lives on this compound or whatever. He kills the guy. He shoots him and kills him dead. Mm. And she confesses, and she's like, yeah, we were going to rob you, blah, blah, blah. So he puts her in a trailer, which he locks her in there. Mm. He doesn't want to kill her because he says he doesn't like killing women, you know what I mean? But he's like, he doesn't want to kill her. Mm-hmm. And it can't be confirmed nor denied that he sexually assaulted her. But this is his MO when he has women captive. Yeah. Right? He just doesn't want to admit it. So anyway, he keeps her there for a while, for a few days, but he realizes that she's a handful. When he was trying to plan a way to let her go. He's like, she's a junkie. Who's gonna believe her? Blah blah blah. I'm gonna give her $4,000. Drive her down to fucking Georgia or whatever. You know what I mean? Don't show your fucking face here, or I will kill you.
Yeah.
And he figures if he gives her $4,000, she's probably going to kill herself, with drugs. So anyway.
That's so fucking dark.
She said, but he's a fucking serial killer. Yeah. What do you expect,
Yeah.
So she starts arguing with him for more money. This is from him.
Okay.
She starts arguing with him for more money. She's in a fucking, So
he says.
Yeah. So she starts arguing with him for more money, and he's like, no, that's all you're going to get, blah, blah, blah. So he leaves her, and she has been smoking in the thing, so she sets a fire inside the trailer. He thinks that she's dead, so he goes in there, and she's laughing about the fire that she set, like, do I have your attention now kind of deal. This is all coming from him, obviously. Yeah. I'm not victim blaming.
Yeah, because you would think that if a person has been held captive, the moment they're able to leave, they're going to escape. They're going to try to.
Right, but he was like, she wasn't even trying to. Like, she was just trying to get something from me or something. That
seems odd, you know what I mean?
I don't know. But anyway, so she sets the thing on fire, to create a scene. And he's like, fuck, I can't control you. Like, I can't control you. So he's like letting her go. He shoots her in the back of the head and kills her. He was just like, I can't with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he said that he had every plan on letting her go.
Yeah.
Because he really didn't want to kill her because he was with this lady. He felt he was in a good relationship, blah, 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 So anyway, this is his thing. So he buries them on his property. So they go missing, but they're drug addicted. So the family is just like, no one's really looking for them. And, so whatever.
What happens to their baby?
I think the grandmother had him or something. Because before she goes missing, the girl, she tells the mom, I have a job to do with this guy.
Yeah.
But they figure, she did the job for the guy, got paid, and then took off and started using drugs and just disappeared for a while, right? But then, right after that, he hires these two.
Okay. To do the actual job.
Calla Brown and her boyfriend, Charles Carver. And he knew them. He worked with them in the real estate office. Like, they had done this job for him for years before, right? So, they are reported missing. Okay. And during this time that they're missing, he's continuing to post on their social media as them.
That's bold.
And because I guess he realized that he fucked up, and he's like, this will definitely be traced back to me.
Yeah.
At this point, he's just like fucking lost the energy and to do it, right?
Yeah.
So he knows the gig is up. His anger got the best of him. So he says,
why did he kill them?
He says that it's because he overheard Charles talking about how he was stealing from him.
Okay.
Like, he says, granted, I should have just fired him. It was petty shit that he was stealing from me. But he says his anger got the best of him. He just killed him. Calla, he puts her in the trailer. He locks her in there. And
are you saying trailer like?
No, it's a
like a home, like a mobile home, or like
it's a storage
shipping container.
Yeah, shipping container.
Okay.
Yeah, that. So he puts her in there, and that's where the padlocks were.
Right.
Okay. So so he has her in there, and he's sexually assaulting her, and she's in there for like 2 months.
Fuck.
Yeah. And like he's sexually assaulting her during that time, and she's just in there. So police are investigating the disappearance of these two, and they realize that the cell phone pinged in an area of about 100 acres.
Okay.
So they go to the town, to the town mayor or whatever the hell it is, and they're like, hey, who owns a property that big out here? And they were like, well, the only person that could possibly be is Todd Kohlhepp.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, well, we need to know this Todd Kohlhepp. Well, it turns out that Todd Kohlhepp, they go to his place, and while they're looking in his place, they fucking hear banging coming from a shipping container.
Shit.
Yes. When they go to open the shipping container, which there's a video of, they go to open the shipping container. She's locked in there. She's chained up.
Oh, fuck.
And it's like a fucking horrific thing that they're seeing.
Yeah.
And she's fucking, fearful for her life. She doesn't know who's open. Every time they open the thing, she gets sexually assaulted.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But here's what she says about the sexual assault. She says that when he comes in there, he doesn't force her to have sex. But he reminds her that if she's not useful to him, there's really no reason for her to be alive.
So he is forcing her.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, she was like, if I didn't want to have sex with him, he wouldn't force me, but he would remind me of when you stop being useful to me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he like weirdly wants her to want him.
Yes.
That's the thing is he wants her to want him. What a fucking gross.
But it's not like sadistic. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, it is still pretty sadistic.
Obviously, Dana, but it's not like in that sense of like.
He's not violent. Like,
right. That they, how like sexual sadists only get turned on when the other person doesn't want to be part of it.
Yeah, right.
He wants her to be part of it. Yeah. But he's forcing her against her will, so it would never happen. Yeah. So it's the same thing.
But he wants her to pretend that he wants it. Yeah.
Yes. Right. So she was there for fucking 2 months, She later testifies that Kohlhepp shot Carver, her boyfriend, right in front of her before chaining her up. Okay?
Wow.
And while under arrest, Kohlhepp reveals the location of the 2 other bodies on his property, which he didn't have to say. Yeah. He fucking gives it up. And the 29-year-old Johnny Joe Coxey and his girlfriend, or his wife, 26-year-old Megan Lee McGraw Coxey.
Those are the people he already killed.
And they had been missing since December 2015. So this happened December 2015. In August, he does it again.
Wow.
Okay. Of 2016, right? Mm-hmm. And again, he explains that he had hired them to clean out the homes and that they had both been shot, right? So he's charged with 7 counts of murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, and 1 count of sexual assault. And he gets...
So the 7 counts of murder are...
Well, he admits, he confesses to the 4 motorcycle
From
people.
the motorcycle people. Jesus
Which they would
Christ.
have never known. He confessed to it. He was just like, yeah, I fucking did that too.
Oh my God.
Right? So he gets 7, on May 26, 2017, he gets 7 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. When his mother asks him how many murders, how many people he had killed, he says, Mom, you don't have enough fingers. It's not a matter of addition, it's a matter of multiplication.
Oh my God.
Yes, but they don't believe him. The fucking cops don't believe him.
Okay.
Okay? The cops don't believe him because the girl that he had kept in there, Kala, is it Kala? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kala, said that he bragged to her about how many people he had killed and about how he wanted his body count to be big and how he was not just a serial killer, he was also a mass killer, a mass murderer. So, and how rare that is, right? So he even gets angry in the interview that the podcast did with him. He gets angry because he says he confessed to other murders and the police don't believe him because the police can't find the body. He says he literally tells them where they could be, but they look in the places that he said he never went to. Almost like a reverse psychology kind of thing. But like, he's like, I killed 2 other dudes. Why would I make this up? Like, I killed 2 other dudes. You can find their bodies here. But because the police haven't found them,
Interesting.
Yeah, so anyway, but I don't know where he gets these numbers of multiplication. You don't have enough fingers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where he gets that from because he's only...
Yeah, if he killed 2 more people, it would be 9.
Exactly. So anyway, it took years for anybody to realize that he was even a serial killer, right? He was a fucking man with a professional facade. Mm-hmm. A man struggling with anger and insecurity issues and cruelty since childhood.
Yeah.
His father later claimed that the only emotion that Todd ever knew was fury. While seasoned homicide detectives are no strangers to these kinds of crimes, Cole Hepp proved to be an anomaly.
Yeah.
And they dubbed him the Amazon Review Killer. Overall, he left a total of 140 reviews.
Really?
They cover things such as tactical vests, carabiners, gun magazine pouches, weapon mounts, emergency medical kits.
And he bought all these things?
Books about rappelling. Yeah. I think you have to buy the stuff to
like write
it.
their review usually,
Yep. He also was into The Walking Dead, so yeah. And that's my story. So if you're buying any of these things and you see a reviewer by the name of Simply Me.
Is Simply Me or just me?
Just me.
I think I've seen that.
So if you've seen that, then it was probably reviewed by him, and yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I wonder if he really did kill any more people. Do you believe that he did?
I absolutely believe that he did.
Yeah.
The two that
at least the 2 more that he said that he did.
Yeah. He says now. When he was interviewed, the interviewers were like, well, who were the other people that you killed? And he was like, there was 2 guys here that I got into an argument with outside in a parking lot or somewhere. And he's like, I killed them both. And the cops just don't believe me, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I've told them where they are, but they're not looking there, So he's pissed off about that. But then he
wants the credit.
He wants the fucking credit, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyway. Why would he lie about that?
I wonder, too, if, is there any evidence that he killed the motorcycle people? Do they believe that he did that or that he might be just using that as clout? Like, he was in the area, you heard about it, it was in his history?
No, because they find his name in the witness thing. Like, they should have called him, but they never did.
Yeah.
Because he just didn't fit the fucking profile, you know? So anyway, they were like, egg on our face, Anyway, so that case closed. That other one could be closed too, but they've never.
What happened to his girlfriend and the kid?
You don't know? No, I don't. The articles.
I always wonder what happens to people and their money. You know what I mean? He's alive. So
yeah, they sold off his properties and everything. Yeah, they sold off everything.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But who gets that money?
I think victims funds or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So he tells the interviewer, the podcast guy that, well, where did where's these multiples, right? He said that for a short period of time, he moved to Mexico with a partner. And there, they killed people from the cartel. And like put them in ditches and stuff like that. And I was just like, shut up. You're trying to be like Dexter and
you ain't
shit.
Killing no cartel.
Get the fuck. You didn't do that. So that's what he says were his other bodies.
It's one thing to like shoot a guy in the back, as they're running away from you. Yeah. Then like go up against the cartel that like. Yeah. Come on.
I think it's like a way for him to be like, well, I only killed bad guys. Like, he even says it. He's like, let me just tell you that none of the people that I killed were good people. Like, they were all criminals.
Says the serial killer.
Nobody was looking for them. Yeah. He's like, nobody was looking for them. They were just bad people. But,
Damn.
But, I mean, that's clearly not the case. He's just trying to...
drug addicts don't deserve a fucking death sentence,
I mean, obviously, and the freaking... employees at a fucking bike shop either.
Yeah, right, yeah.
The fucking 52-year-old
Just because they
mother.
slighted you doesn't mean that they're bad people or that they deserve to die.
Or just because you felt slighted, because you felt disrespected or something, doesn't mean that the fucking... He was like, I didn't mean to kill his mother, but like everybody was just there, so I had to take everybody out. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So, that's my story.
And, like, ruin the poor wife and the kid's life. Like, besides the fact that they lost their family, like... They lost everybody else around them, too, in the process. Because even when that comes out that, like, it was his father, like, the damage is done. Of, like, you didn't believe me.
Well, was it? Yeah.
You hurt
Maybe it wasn't, you know? Maybe the DNA, maybe she's saying the DNA was crossed, but maybe it was. I don't know, man. But I would have sued the fuck out of that police.
Hell yeah.
I would have sued the fuck out of them.
Oh, my God.
Like, that's the defamation of defamation of
for real.
Right
for real. Oh, my God.
Poor baby. Like, had nothing to do with it. Got swept up in the
10 years later and doesn't...
Sad. It's sad.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. That, like, seems like a huge major case that just, like, went under the, like...
How did I not hear about that?
Right under the radar for me.
Not the fucking murders entertainment. The fact
writing
that, like...
the reviews and stuff.
Yeah. The Amazon review killer.
And they're, like, mildly entertaining. They're they're a little bit funny where you're like...
A little bit tongue-in-cheek.
I mean, how many times have you, like, read Amazon reviews and you're like, haha, these are so funny.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, bitch.
Right.
He's a killer.
Yeah.
Also, if you write Amazon reviews...
There's something wrong with you. I've written one or two. Yeah. And it's so funny because, like, years later... Amazon has like a record of your shit or whatever. Yeah, and you can look it up, right? So years later, I've seen other reviews that I've written, and I was like, "How old was I when I wrote this?"
The only time I've written a review is if it like something like totally fell apart. If I bought it or something like.
No, it was like a good review. Yeah. It was so stupid. I was like, I was this person.
Sometimes I'll like go to a restaurant or like have really good service.
Yeah,
somewhere.
But here we are. Wait a minute. Pause for a minute.
Yeah.
Here we are talking about like you're lame if you write reviews, and then at the end of our podcast we're like, hey, write us a review.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. Like, there's been times where I've had like really good massage or really good service at a restaurant, and I'm like, I'm gonna write a good review about that, and then I'm like,
nah,
right out of my brain. Like, as soon as I get in the car, I'm like, delete that experience from your mind. SpongeBob just throwing the fucking files out of it. Like, I really want to write good reviews, but I just never do it.
No.
And maybe if people would have written more reviews for this podcast, we would have been able to quit our jobs.
Yeah, I know. So it's all on you, actually.
Really, it's your own fault.
You messed this up for yourself. Maybe they just didn't have anything good to say.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anywho,
nope. No thanks.
That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Yeah. And fucking.
I appreciate that story.
You know a story that really stuck with me?
What's
That's
that?
the one that I told about the construction, about the home repair.
Oh, yeah.
That story stuck with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over the years. That story really stuck
to
my
that was an interesting story.
Yeah.
Because I, like, placed myself in this house. Like, in Cindy's house. Because, like, just, like, the way you described the house reminded me of this house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was called Bring the House Down if you're interested in listening to that fucking...
Yeah, that was a That was upsetting.
That was very upsetting. So that's it for us. Pay attention next week because we have an announcement to make. We'll make that next week. But in the meantime, you can subscribe so you don't miss out. You can connect with us on Facebook, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, all that good stuff. So check you out next week. And remember, do not get taken to that second location. I mean it.
Yeah.
Be good or be good at hiding the body. Cheers.
Cheers. Are you okay? Jesus Christ. You're so fucking loud. You're disgusting and I hate you both. Oh god, I'm crying. Oh my god. And holding my pee because I almost fucking peed myself.